Okay, let's check for sound on your guys' end.
Testing 1, 2. Hey, Alex, the Romanian sensation.
Romanian sensation. Okay, everything seems fine. I am great. How is Stalin?
Good. We haven't been here long, but it's great.
A little pooped. We're a little tired.
I bet. It's like, I bet. Yeah, that jet lag is bound to kick in when you're 12 hours behind. If it was 2 or 3, more manageable. Okay, fantastic.
So it is exactly on the other side of the globe.
Yeah.
Exactly on the other side.
But we're good. We got in last night and we're fine. We're gonna make it.
Okay, fantastic. So we are also starting the broadcast for some people on YouTube. So I'll be also checking my screen on that end. As people are still joining the call, that is great. I will do a quick intro for everyone that cannot or could not join us at this particular hour. So without further ado, we are rolling. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a truly transformational experience, the process of designing our very best lives, creating an image of the ideal life we want to live and the person that we want to become. So we invite you to dream big throughout this entire journey and know that this dream is going to be different for every single person on this call. Because at the end of the day, Lifebook, your Lifebook, is authored by you and for you. We believe that there is no one-size-fits-all solution for everyone in any category of life. Therefore, it's up to us to discover our own magic formula for success, balance, happiness, and fulfillment. And we are here to offer you guidance and support throughout this entire journey. You can actually consider these live calls as a form of group accountability. So every week we'll show up here, we'll ask you, did you do your task for the week? So we'll hold you accountable throughout this journey. But of course, this journey will not work unless you do. So we're here to guide, but we cannot do the work for you. That's why in every one of these calls, I will start off by doing a little bit of a progress check. 1, to see if you did the work, or 2, if you didn't do, just to remind you what are the key elements that you should have in mind at this stage of the game. So before I continue with my introduction, let's go to the polls. And I'm launching a poll now. John, keep your hands where I can see them. So there's no... Okay, so everyone, that if you are on the Zoom app, unfortunately, if you are watching us on YouTube on the live broadcast, you don't have this feature. But for those of you live on Zoom with us, you have a poll on your screens right now. 2 questions. Number 1, did you take the Lifebook assessment? Very important. And you have 2 choices, yes or no, not yet. And these questions there is no option to say no, okay? So you have to do these things because these are the fundamental elements. So did you take the Lifebook assessment? Yes or no, not yet. And did you watch the Journey Begins video? The video that explains the framework of the process. Yes or no, not yet. So, okay, basically, in this call, it's mainly about us getting on the right page, setting the tone of this entire journey. So this call is going to deal mainly with the content from The Journey Begins, and we're going to be answering questions about setting yourself up for success with this entire journey. You also can ask questions live. I will be alternating between the questions that you guys are posting in the Q&A feature and also upvoting. So I'll be picking from those questions and alternating between those and some of the questions that we have received, so pre-submitted questions. So we'll go for about 1 hour, and it is my knowledge, because we have done a lot of these calls in the past. I think this is our 7th or 8th live series at this point in the past couple of years. Actually, no, we did 2 or 3 every year. So we have like 18. So we did a lot of series over the years. So I know that you will walk away from this session with a lot of amazing gems and insights. So let's stop the poll for now. Okay, almost 90% of the ones present here voted. So let's end the poll and share the results. Okay, So yes, did you take the Lifebook assessment? 78% of you said yes, and 22% said no, not yet. And did you watch the Journey Begins video? 84% of you guys said yes, and 16% said no, not yet. Okay, we are off to a great start, judging by this. Jon and Missy, welcome to the show. You'll need to unmute.
Thank you, Alex. Happy to be here. Hello to everyone from around the world.
Hello.
Alex, just so you know, we dropped off just for a minute, which is why we had to re-unmute. We might have a little bit of internet weirdness. We'll see. We'll let you know.
Hopefully not.
We're good now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So I'm checking the chat. Everything seems great here. Carla, hello, Jon and Missy. It's a pleasure to be with you all. It's a pleasure also for us to be with all of you in this call. Let's kick off with our general question. So this is the big question that we want to answer at the beginning of all of our Lifebook journeys, which is the high-level picture of this process that we are embarking on, right? So what are the fundamental pillars to designing our ideal life, but also to achieve it?
Okay, to designing and achieving. Those are two different things. Designing first, right? The first step in getting what you want is knowing what it is. So that's what we're going to be focusing over the next 6 weeks on. So what we're going to be doing over the next 6 weeks is taking you through 12 categories of your life and looking deeply at each one. In order to really get a grip on each of these categories, we're going to be asking you 4 questions, and we'll be guiding you through, because the Lifebook process is simple, but it's not easy. It's simple to explain. It doesn't have a lot of moving parts, but it really takes a lot of thinking. In each category, we're going to explore your beliefs that control your behavior in that category of your life. Then we're going to ask you, what with clarity do you want in this area of your life? And that's called your vision. That's one of the most important aspects of the Lifebook program. By the end of this program, you're going to know with clarity what you want in every important area of your life. The next question is, why do you want that? Why is that important to you? What will you gain if you achieve it? And what will you lose if you don't? And finally, all right, if that's what you want in the area of health and fitness, or your love relationship, or your financial life, what do you need to do to get it? What do you believe? What do you want? Why do you want it? And what do you need to do to get it in every important area of your life? These are the great questions of life that almost nobody answers for themselves. You guys, when you're done with this program, you'll have brought more consciousness to your life than 99% of the people that you will meet in your life.
It's true. It's super profound, you guys. And really what it is you're taking full inventory of your entire life. Going through these 12 categories, those are the main 12 categories of life. And we go deep with each one of these questions. And you really do, you take complete inventory. You see exactly where you're at. You think about what you believe, and we make sure those beliefs are empowering to you as opposed to not, disempowering beliefs. So this is really a profound, deep self-exploration, and you're taking inventory on yourself, which is really,
you will gain so much clarity, you won't believe it. And I just want to point out that it's a combination of self-discovery. A lot of this will be you discovering what's inside of yourself, but a lot of it is also deciding what you want, creating yourself.
It's both.
So life is about finding yourself in a way, but life is also about creating yourself, because you are the sculptor and you are the sculpted.
That's right.
So that's what this process does. So the first giant step is we take you through the 12 categories of your life over the next 6 weeks, and we help you define your premise, your vision, your purpose, and your strategy. And then what we do, the last exercise, which is, where it all really comes together. The last category is called your life vision. And what you do is you take all of the sub-visions that you've created, your vision for your health and fitness, your vision for your emotional life and your spiritual life and your love relationship and your career, etc. And you bring that all together in one place. You add it all up together. And the final deliverable of this level of Lifebook, level 1, Lifebook Online, is called your life vision synopsis. You are going to end this program with a 2-page synopsis, a crystal clear vision of the person that you want to become and the life you want to live. And that's more profound than you can even wrap your head around right now. I mean, right? Now, that's the design process. That's Lifebook Online. That's the program that you're in right now. A lot of people don't need to do anything but that. They just need to do that thinking, and that aligns their vision for their life, which ends up giving you a decision-making frame. When you know exactly where you want to go in your life, it's easy to make decisions. Because if you've got a crystal clear life vision, anything that you're trying to, should I take this job or that job? Should I be in this relationship or that relationship? Those decisions are easy to make because the criteria is, does this get me closer to my life vision? If it does, I'm going to do it. If it doesn't, I'm not going to do it. It's as simple as that. So a lot of people are fine with basically finishing Lifebook Online. They've achieved an immense amount of clarity. They know where they want to take their life, and that's great. But if you really want to accelerate the manifestation process, our second level course is called Lifebook Mastery. And that's going to happen right after this course, a few weeks after this course. And basically what you do is this. Now, this is the doing part. This is the achieving part. You take that 2-page life vision synopsis that you will have spent dozens of hours deeply thinking through. It's a real deal. It's not just some flippant document, right? This is the real stuff. And then what you need to do in order to bring most effectively is you've got to align your goal setting system with that life vision. You've got to align your daily habits with that life vision. And you've got to align your ongoing education with that life vision so that you're not learning a bunch of random stuff that doesn't necessarily get you any farther, down the road to the life that you really want to be living. And that's in our Lifebook Mastery course, which is the second level course. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. But right now you're in Lifebook Online, and over the next 6 weeks, you're going to get more clarity on your life, your future, the person you want to become than you ever thought possible.
Yeah, good answer.
Thank you. I've done this a time or two before.
Yeah. It's like you wrote the program or something. So speaking about the journey that we are embarking on, how do we set ourselves up for success and get the most out of these next 6 weeks that we are going to be, specifically for people that are doing Lifebook for the very first time?
Yeah, you guys, we've taken over close to 100,000 people through this program now. And so a lot of these answers, when we first started out 12 years ago with a very expensive seminar business where we did this, we had to learn what the most important components were and what the most important things you need to think about. But now we know with clarity. So the number one thing that you need to complete this program successfully is absolute commitment. It's not about your intelligence level. It's not about your motivation. It's not about anything but how committed you are. Right. And here's the first big life hack that I'm going to give you. This works for the program, but it also works for anything else in your life. And here's what it is. 100% is easy. 99% is hard. 100% commitment is easy. I've decided that I did this, as a matter of fact, this year with my son, with my 19-year-old son, Justin. We had been kind of doing little half-ass workouts and maintaining and so on over the years. January 1st, my son, Justin, and I said, let's make 100% commitment to a 90-day program where we will never miss a workout. And we wrote our goals, and we wrote our workout, and we didn't miss a single workout because we made 100% commitment. Didn't matter if we didn't feel like getting up in the morning. Didn't matter if we weren't in the mood. Did nothing. There's
no inner conversation. No. You're not like, oh, am I going to work out today? I don't know. There's none of that. And I witnessed this. It's pretty awesome. Actually.
When you've got a 99% commitment, every day you got to ask yourself, do I really feel like doing this today? And
knock yourself out of it.
Yeah, exactly. What I have found out is that like 99% commitment usually ends up equaling 30%. Yeah, that's where that ends up landing.
So 100% commitment, be all in. Yeah. Because I mean, and you guys, this is not, it's not hard work. It's deep work. It can be heavy lifting sometimes, but really it's
so fun though.
It's natural.
Yeah, that's true.
It's natural to us. I mean, humans are designed this way. If we didn't have a vision, what does it say in the Bible? If the people don't have a vision, they perish.
Yes, that's right.
mean,
You
it's
are built to, you are built to figure out where you want
What
to
you
take your
want.
life.
That's right.
Not many people really sit down and consciously do it, but Missy's right. You're built for that.
That's exactly right.
So the only thing you need to bring to this process to be successful is a commitment to doing it and not missing it.
That's right.
I would suggest that you
Really
set
deep.
aside 2 hours a week or whatever you're gonna, 2 hours a category
Mhm.
at a certain time of day that it's always the same. Make sure that you're in a place that you can't get disturbed. You don't want to be reading your text. You don't want your phone ringing.
Mhm.
You don't want your kids tugging at you. This is your time. You deserve this time.
Mhm.
You deserve time off the treadmill of your life so that you can sit down and plan the rest of
That's
it.
right.
This would be the highest leverage return on an investment that you've ever gotten.
Mhm.
So commit to doing this. That's
Mhm.
number one.
Mhm.
And then number two, the process of sitting down and thinking through every single area of your life can be overwhelming when you think about the whole thing, but you don't need to think about the whole thing. All you need to do is the exercise that's in front of you. So
We
this
go
is
step by step.
this
So,
this
yeah.
is something that we learned 12
Mhm.
years ago. Trust the process.
Mhm.
This process works every time for every person.
That's true.
That's the bottom line.
Mhm.
All you got to focus on is the exercise in front of you. There's 45 separate exercises in the Lifebook program. You're going to do 45 separate exercises. And that's not including the assessment. The very first thing you're going to do in the health and fitness category is define your premise. That's one exercise, and we're going to help you with that.
Mhm.
After you're done with that, you're going to move on to define your vision in that category. All you need to do literally is focus on the exercise that's in front of you. And by the time you're done, you will not believe what you've put together.
That's true. And I'll add one more. Don't leave any dark
That's
corners not looked at, meaning don't leave any,
Uncover every rock.
every little tiny thing you really want to clean house
Yeah.
with this all the way, because then you end up with such a clear life vision, and there's nothing in there that's going to derail
That's right.
you. There's nothing that's going to knock you off course, because you're integrated.
And in that regard, important to understand, because this isn't just like reading a book or doing a program where you're listening to some guru's wisdom. This is the personal development paradigm that has been for the last 100 years. I buy a book, I sign up for a course, I listen to an audio program, and I'm listening to a super smart guru who's sharing their wisdom with the last 100 years, but that's not what Lifebook is about. Lifebook isn't even close to about that. Lifebook is an empty system that you fill up with your own stuff, period.
It's
And
Socratic
it's-
in nature.
So that's why every Lifebook is different, because every person is different. The valuable information in this program that will change your life will not come at you, it will come from you. So the more you bring to this process, the braver you are, like Missy said, uncovering every stone, going deep in every area, the more you will get from this program.
Yeah, totally.
Wonderful. So let's go directly with a question from Terry about premise. So just as an overview for those who join a bit later, this call is about the Journey Begins video. So we will not be taking questions about health and fitness and intellectual life, which are the first two categories. Although from what I see in the questions, some of you guys already did those categories. So congratulations.
Overachievers.
Overachiever, that's fantastic. So health and fitness and intellectual life will be the subject of our upcoming call next week. So from Terry, premise question. It seems to me about listing your ideal beliefs. So premise seems to me to be about listing your ideal beliefs. So for example, my health is the most important thing in my life. But to date, that hasn't been the thing driving my life. So where do you capture the ugly underlying beliefs that drive your life? And how do you know what they are if they are often unconscious?
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to root them out. You got to really be honest with yourself. You got to ask yourself, you got to look at yourself, think about how you've been living your life with regard to health and fitness. and ask yourself, what have my beliefs been? You know, we've encountered people that believe, well, everyone in my family has diabetes, so I'll probably get diabetes too at some point in my life. That's a lousy belief, you guys. That's a belief that will lead you down, but it might be true, so you can't ignore it. So you're right. What we want you to end up with is a set of ideal beliefs. That's what we want you to end up with. But that doesn't mean you should ignore the disempowering beliefs that are in there, because they've got to be dealt with.
And they will come up.
And they will
come up. And I mean, that's where the courage comes in, you guys. And that's what I was saying earlier about, don't let any dark corners stay. Like, don't like just overlook something or just sweep it under the rug. That's not what this is about. You really need to go look at yourself honestly and courageously in the mirror and like, really, how am I really showing up?
Yeah.
What do I really believe about this? And is that really empowering or disempowering? And when you realize it's not going to help you, it's not pushing you forward,
then you can deal with it.
It's time to deal with
it.
it.
And we'll talk to you about strategies to do that. But let me give you an example. The first thing I want to say is this: it doesn't matter what your vision is in a category. You will not achieve that vision if you've got lousy beliefs underlying it. So here's an example. My vision for my financial life is I want to make $100,000 this year, and I'm only making 50,000 right now. So I want to double my income this year to 100,000. But then I find out in the financial category that I've been living with a belief all my life that was installed in childhood in Sunday school that said the love of money is the root of all evil. Well, how the heck can I expect to be financially successful if I believe that having money is evil? And then you ask yourself, do I really want to carry that belief forward? And the answer will probably be no. And so what do I want to replace that with? What would be a more empowering belief that I could replace that with? And we share tons of examples and possibilities with you in this program. That's what you want to do. You ask yourself, beliefs I've been operating under so far, and are they empowering me or are they disempowering me? If they're disempowering me, they gotta go. They gotta go.
Because that's the whole point, you guys, is to get rid of all contradictions, any dissonance. Because if you were going after something, you don't want these little potholes.
Friction.
Yeah, no friction. No. When you want to have everything integrated and it's all balanced and harmonious. Really, harmony is the word. It's a vibrational harmonious thing between all these 12 categories. But they will come up. And once, like Jon said, there's a few ways to get rid of limiting beliefs. One is to bring in a new one. And sometimes that works. Sometimes you have to just remember that you want to change that belief. And when you're living, it'll come up and you'll be like, oh, you'll catch it as soon as you can in the moment. Because the bottom line is, once you go through this whole program, you guys, you're going to be so much more conscious and mindful of daily, just on the daily, always. You're just continuously more conscious.
And sometimes just the consciousness alone, just realizing I've been operating under this stupid friggin' thing for the last 25 years. It messed me up. It's messed me up. And I'm done with going to take the belief that the love of money is the root of all evil, and I'm going to replace it with that Henry David Thoreau quote, the lack of money is the root of all evil. If you look at the places in the world that are having the biggest problems, it's because of lack of money, right? So that's just an example. And by the end of this course, we want you to have identified a lot of the beliefs that have been holding you back, have the courage to let them go and replace them with more empowering beliefs, and that will change your life. It's a game changer.
That's right.
Wonderful. Next question is from Misha. I feel like I am late to the game. How can the Lifebook process aid in the transformation of someone who feels they are starting from scratch in life, essentially from zero?
Well, there's an ancient Japanese saying, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today, right?
Yeah.
The bottom line is you're not late.
No.
And the reason you're not late
That's
is
true.
because the time is always now. Whether it's 20 years ago, whether it's 10 years ago, or whether it's today, the time is always now. You guys, I mean, I started from scratch, absolute scratch. That's how this program was created. You'll learn more about the origin of this program, specifically in the emotional category, because this program came from pretty much a nervous breakdown. I was at ground zero. I mean, I couldn't even function. I had to put my life back together. So I literally started this methodology from scratch. And if I can do it, you can too.
100%. And there's no race either. You're not behind.
Yeah.
It's all good. No, it's all good.
It's always now. Now is always the best time to do anything.
That's true.
Yeah, you are not late. You are here. It's a very good. It's a very good reminder. Wherever you are here. You know. Okay, next question. So another one from the upvoted Q&A. It's from Sophie. Do you have any insights about what ideas we should put for each of the PVPSs? Because I see that some of my things that I write down are just slightly reframed each time. There are some areas where it feels like a lot of the things are the same thing. Mm-hmm. If so, how do I determine which PVPS statement goes where?
Yeah. That's hard for me still.
Missy found that out too. Yeah, she discovered that same thing.
She's saying you're doing
for us so that I know it's right.
Yeah, I think what I just said is right.
Is she saying that she's not sure where to put it? Premise, vision, purpose, strategy, or is she saying?
And some of the statements are the same, right? Yeah, you're frozen a little bit.
Can you see us, Alec? Can you hear us?
I can, but it's the connection is a bit wobbly. So basically, this is a common situation, as in like sometimes the same statement can be both a premise and a vision, right? So it's like, is it correct?
Yeah. It's sometimes you just don't know where it goes. Like I was having this problem when I was doing a Lifebook little exercise for Lifebook. I was doing a PVPS for Lifebook, and I wasn't really sure where this certain statement went. Was it in the vision or is it purpose?
Okay. Yeah. I got it.
And it's okay because it's
so here's an example. I'll be a strong muscular athlete for the rest of my life. Is that a vision? Yeah, that's a vision, but it can also be a purpose. Exercise, I will be a strong muscular athlete for the rest of my life. That's a reason that I want to keep up my diet and exercise. And the answer is it does not matter where you put it, as long as you put it somewhere.
You're doing the thinking.
And you can put it in two places if you want. If it's a vision and a purpose, you put it in two places. Here's the thing, you guys, if you end up using this methodology to run your life like we do, if you end up dedicating yourself to being the best person you can be and having the best life you can have and using this tool to get you there, you'll never stop working on your life book. I've worked on my life book for 30 years. The same life book, modify, improve, get it better. It gets crazy.
It gets addicting.
It gets to be a magic book. You can't believe what this thing will turn into. So don't worry about your first draft. Trust the process.
You'll get the hang of it.
Finished beats perfect every time. Finished beats perfect. So just under the other place or put it in both places. That's fine too.
I mean, remember, life is a journey, and this is a living document. Because it's not one and done. Life isn't stagnant. You will always move and grow, and you'll always change these things. Not necessarily your beliefs. I mean, that will happen over time.
That does happen.
Probably less so than like your strategies and things like that.
And if you don't have kids now, and 2 years from now you have kids, you'll have to get into that parenting chapter and rewrite the whole thing. Things change in our lives, and we got to make sure that the life book, stays current. So don't be uptight about anything in this process.
You'll get the hang of it. You'll find your flow.
The mindset of work in progress tends to help a lot with this. You tend to be a lot more fearful if you start thinking the thing that I write now is going to be set in stone for the rest of my life. Then you put extra pressure on yourself to get it right from the first go. While getting it right for the first go is not actually the goal. It's actually to start you down on the path, start you down on the process, because some of these things you will refine over time, or you might hear from others even in some of these calls or in the chat or by speaking to people, they might phrase it in a way that it's more congruent and more authentic, what you actually believe, but you did not have the words to put it there. So that's why this Lifebook as a filing system, let's call it, it's helpful because the moment you hear it, you plug it there and it actually improves your category and improves your overall strategy.
Yeah, 100%. I would add one thing to the advice to set you up for success. In each category, you do not want to overthink. You do not want to get analysis paralysis, right? But you also don't want to underthink. You want to make sure that you bring some good, solid thinking, but don't be, don't
second guess yourself, really,
and get anal about it.
Yeah.
Just try to let it flow out of you. That's the best thing.
Because really what you want to do is you want to get these answers from yourself, right? Head, your heart, and your gut. Those are your 3 intuition tools. You really need to listen. And once you get that answer, like Jon said, don't keep beating it up. Just go with it and come back. If you're not sure about it, you can come back. Always
change it. There's one more thing I got to say. As long as we're giving advice for the best way to get through the program, one commonly asked question, you guys, is when I'm presenting the course and I'm presenting my premise, vision, purpose, and strategy, is it okay if we adopt some of Jon's beliefs or visions or purpose or strategies? And the answer is that's exactly what I did when I was creating this course. Like I went out there and researched the best of the best. I did every personal development program I could get my hands on. I've studied history. So I've got like the ancient greats, the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, and right. So many of the things that I present in this course are not my original thinking. They're from the greats of all time. That's what I did with my Lifebook. And that's one of the reasons that Lifebook is so magic. It not only contains your unique vision for each category of your life and premise, vision, purpose, and strategy, but it's a placeholder, like Alex said, a filing system for you to keep any amazing wisdom that you run across category by category. So once you get your Lifebook up and running, you're out there and you come across some amazing love relationship advice or an incredible financial strategy or some premise in health and fitness that you've never heard before. You've got a place to put it now. All the wisdom you encounter in your life categorized. And then when you go back and read those chapters, you will not believe the combination of your own amazing thinking and the wisdom of the ages that will be brought into this course. Your book is it's your personal life manual that's going to lead you to the best life that you could have.
Your roadmap. Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful. Next question from Tino. What guidance does Lifebook offer to individuals struggling to reconcile their current circumstances with their envisioned future, especially if they believe some aspects of their situation cannot be changed?
Okay, that's a 2-part question.
Yeah. Reconciling your current circumstances with your envisioned future is literally what this program is about.
That's what we're doing.
That is the fundamental of this is to define where you want to get now. The assessment gets you clear on where you are now. Your life vision will be where you want to be. And then your job is to get from where you are now to where you want to be. That is literally the program that you're doing, right? The one thing that I would suggest, though, is not to put the self-imposed limitation on you when you first start down this course that there may be some things about your life that you can't change.
That might be a limiting belief.
That might be a limiting belief. You have no idea how powerful you are.
Yeah.
You haven't even ever brushed up against it. You have no idea how in control of your life you could be. And that's what we're going to be exploring in this program. So try not to put those self-imposed limitations on yourself at the beginning. Just enter the program with an open mind and see where it takes you.
Trust the process.
Okay, another question about premises or beliefs from Indu. Do we write the disempowering beliefs also in our premise section, or just the empowering ones? Oops, I lost you. So I'll read the question again from Indu. Do we write the disempowering beliefs also in the premise section of our categories, or just the empowering ones, and just be conscious about the ones that are pulling us back and deal with them as we move forward?
That's a fantastic question. And here is my advice. Do both of them, but keep them separate. So as you're really bringing a lot of thought, you guys go as deep as you can, be as brave as you can, look under every rock. And as you discover some disempowering beliefs, go ahead and write them down, maybe put an X next to them so that you know that could be a negative disempowering belief. But what you really want to focus on, at the end of the day, Lifebook is your ideal self. It's about your ideal beliefs, your ideal vision, your ideal motivations, and your ideal strategies in every area of your life. But sometimes we can't get there without, you have to take care of the past before you can step into the future. So I would definitely write them down, but you're writing them down so that you can take inventory of them and re-examine them so that you can release them. You don't want to brush them under the rug.
But I like what you said, because really Lifebook is about your future,
Yeah,
you
it
guys.
is.
So truly
Your
you
future,
can,
not your past.
you can, like he just said, you can do it that way, or you can just drop them. Know that they're there, like you said in the second part of your question. Know that they're there, but just out of the positive ones. Like I negative one in my life book.
I wouldn't
That's
either,
me.
but what you might do is just only put the positive Lifebook list, a separate list of your
Sure.
negative ones that you have to deal with. And you guys, there are whole programs. We have 2 members of our community are geniuses at removing disempowering beliefs. Marissa Peer, who's a world famous, she's famous at this, and we've got a couple people that can really help you with this after the course.
Beautiful. Next question is from Rebecca. How does Lifebook address the challenge of maintaining balance across all of these different life categories? And is occasional imbalance an unavoidable part of the process?
I'll answer the first part of that question first. The second part of the question first. Yes, imbalance is inevitable in life. There's nothing that you can do about it. Even if you're a Lifebooker like Missy and I, who have worked with this methodology for 30 years, there will be times in your life where, okay, you're starting a company. For the next 2 months, I'm going to have to roll up my sleeve, Miss. I'm going to be working 12-hour days, but we know what the goal is. We know why it's important. We know what we're going to get from it. I may have to make a few sacrifices in some of these other areas, but I'm coming out the other side in 2 months, and we're going to have something wonderful. What Lifebook does to address balance is it brings consciousness to all 12 areas of your life. And that's what you haven't done and no one else in the world has done. What that means is this: none of the important areas of your life are going to be left out or left behind or left to chance. And as you're going through your life, sometimes sacrifices need to be made. Here's another example. You have a baby. When you have a baby, the last 2 months of the pregnancy and the first 2 months of when that child is delivered is all about the baby.
Really the first year.
And a lot of other things are going to have to change to get you through that. You're going to focus more attention on that. Others have a little bit of attention taken off of them, but what Lifebook ensures that you always come back to center. And where it is, you guys, we take the assessment every quarter, and the assessment gives you a report on where you are in each of these categories. And you notice, hey, look, my social score just dropped 12 points over the last 6 months. And it's been because I've been doing this, this, and this. Now, this coming quarter, I'm going to make sure that I bring those scores up a little bit. Lifebook is a balancing system. That's what it is.
And also your life vision keeps you on track. Like if you get off track, like we all do, you fall off the wagon, or so to speak, or you have your roadmap. So you know where you're going.
When people haven't brought the consciousness to these areas that you're getting ready to bring, that's when they're in danger of waking up and being like, I've been ignoring my health and fitness for the last year and a half. Look at me. Or,
I feel terrible.
Man, my relationship is in the toilet. Why? Because I haven't paid any attention to it for the last 2 years. We haven't had a date. And that's what this this process completely more. You will notice when you're slipping and you'll fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, so another upvoted question from the Q&A from Michael. I thought that Lifebook was a standalone process. Will I be able to achieve my goals by giving 100% to Lifebook? Because I now have I had the impression that this was the full process and the full journey, but hearing you speak at the beginning, it sounds like there is another level to it. So what gives?
Lifebook is the Lifebook level that you're in right now, Lifebook Online, is a 6-week course that gets you crystal clear on the person that you want to become and the life you want to live. You end this process with a life vision. And for a lot of people, that's all they need to live an extraordinary life.
If you know how to set goals and go after goals, and you do things today, and you have a list, if you are that person. A lot of people aren't, and that's why we made our second course.
Although some people don't even need to go that deep. Just the knowledge of where they're going to take their life is enough. That's enough for them.
Yeah.
If you want to go deep into the manifestation techniques to bring your vision into reality, that's another process. And it's a complete, so Lifebook is the thinking part, Lifebook Mastery is the doing part. There's design and there's execution. And like I said, sometimes design is enough. So that is the deal.
Yeah, I will tell you the reason we created this second program it was probably 5 years into Lifebook or something like that. And a lot of our members were coming to us and saying, you guys, Lifebook's awesome. And some things have changed. But the problem with a lot of these people is not problem, but the challenge is that their life vision is so different from where they now could not make the changes to get to their life vision. Like some of them had to get divorced, or some of them had to decide to get married. Some of them had to do all kinds of crazy things, quit their job, right? So that is why we help them. That's why we did the second course. We said, okay, people are going to they're falling down here. But a lot of people took off after Lifebook. So that's what it is. Yeah. So it's really up to you.
It depends on how good you are with execution.
Yeah.
And to spoil also a bit of the ending, we'll also talk about that process regardless in the last call. So we'll tell you what are the steps.
And by the way, let me just let you know, you don't have to do the second course. We're gonna lay out at the end of this process. We're going to tell you exactly what you need to do to achieve your vision. Now, if you want to do it with us, we've got a great course. Otherwise, we're going to give you the methodology. Some people are friggin' great at executing on their own, and you'll be pointed in the right direction. Trust me.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you. Next question. This one is from Vanessa. What recommendations does Lifebook have for those whose visions within different categories appear to contradict each other? How can one resolve these contradictions to create a cohesive life vision?
Yeah, that's one of the things that Lifebook does, you guys. It's going to completely uproot all contradictions in your life, and you've got a lot of them. They will come up. Here's an example. An example of contradictions between visions. My financial goal, my career and financial goal is I want that promotion and I want that 40% raise. I'm committed to that. I also want to take my love relationship to the next level, and I'd like to lose 40 pounds and get in the best shape of my life. And all goals contradict each other. If you're going to have to work twice as hard as you're working right now, you're going to have less time to spend with your love, and your health and fitness could suffer. That's a common thing that happens all the time. And that's because most people set their goals in a vacuum. They're not setting their goals against a life vision or against anything particular. When it comes to their financial life, they're just saying, I want more money. When it comes to their love relationship, they say, I want a better love relationship. When it comes to their health and fitness, they say, I want to be in better shape. But often those goals, if they're set in a vacuum, will contradict each other. And literally you will not they'll fight with each other, and it's a mess. What Lifebook solves that problem by getting you crystal clear on one thing, what your ideal life looks like. Your financial life is a part of that. Your love relationship is a part of that. You have to make room for all of it. It's all got to work together. And like Missy said, those contradictions will come up, you will deal with them, and then you will end up with a life that is aligned, and has integrity, meaning coherence.
Yeah, it's coherence.
Coherence between what you think, what you say, and what you do. That's one of the big problems that most people have that Lifebook solves.
And it really, it comes down to just consciousness, because you're able to figure anything out in your life. You really are. Each one of us is equipped with what we need to face the challenges of our lives. We may not think that, or we may not know that, but that's really how we're wired. So you'll have, as you go through this process, you'll have all these things, but you will think it through, and you'll be like, okay, that's not harmonious with this.
Exactly.
So what am I going to do? Yeah. And you ask yourself that, and you get an answer. Everything in life is a trade-off.
That's one of the smartest things that our mentor said to us decades ago. Mm-hmm. Everything in life is a trade-off. And you're take it. You want to make sure approach it with, so you can get everything that you want. Mm-hmm. I mean, what you want and what you want, right? I want to lose 20 pounds, but man, I also want that pie. And so what there's an answer. I mean, there is. There's always an answer.
Relationship, Jon and I we don't compromise. If I don't see something the way he sees it, or he sees it differently, whatever, it's like, well, there's another answer. It's not my way or his way. There is a better way, and it usually encompasses both of us. So that's kind of what you got to broaden your horizon, guys, and really raise your consciousness to a high view, so you can see your whole life, and you'll get there. This process helps you. I mean, it walks you through.
One of the very best things that is going to happen to you over the next 6 weeks is Lifebook is going to help you identify actions in what you want and what you want, and solve that problem. Ayn Rand said, contradictions lead to destruction. And that's absolutely true. And that's one of the things that this course will really help you eliminate in your life. Missy and I don't have any contradictions in our life. Our life flows freely. We don't have friction in any area of our lives, because we've been doing this for so long, and we've thought so deeply about what we want, and all of our goals are consonant. They're aligned. They're compatible. Yeah. None of them fight with the others. As a matter of fact, they all support and help the others.
And I'll tell you, I'll add to that. When there is some sort of dissonance that comes in from the outside or something, boy, do you feel
notice
and see it. You're like, that's an adjustment needs to be made. Yeah.
So here's an interesting question upvoted from Sandra. How do you guys deal with mistakes and failures in general? So she gives an example where she picked a career that she ended up hating, and she knew it somewhere along the line, the process, but because of the amount of money and time that was already invested, she just continued with the journey. So how do you guys think about redirection or letting go of the time and money already invested in something that ended up not being the right thing?
We don't ever make mistakes. No,
there are opportunities.
It's a mindset you got. We either achieve success or we learn.
Yeah,
that's the deal. Right. We either in anything we do, we either get success or we get an education.
Because it's inevitable, you guys. I mean, you're going to try stuff that doesn't work, and that's the beauty of trial and error of life,
And I've got a multi-million-dollar education. Trust me.
We both do.
I've made so many what could be characterized as mistakes, but truthfully, you guys, this is the truth in life, and I've heard some really smart people say this. Mm-hmm. I love success. I love good times. I love happy times and achieving big goals. But you learn so much friggin' more from the situations you get your ass kicked in, from the hard things, from the failures. I don't believe in failure. That's where you learn. That's where, like, literally, we've done startups that have lost us so much money, or we've done projects that have utterly not turned out the way that we thought, and sat down and said, all right, what did we learn from this painful ass experience? Like, we're going to write these things down right now so that we never, ever, ever reproduce the situation in our lives. Those are unbelievably valuable learning experiences. So we've just reframed the whole idea of failure. I don't like it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but we framed the way that we think about it. We either achieve success in everything we do, or we get a good education.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're either learning or winning or learning.
Right. I like that, Alex. That's a better way to say it.
Yeah. I wanted to chime in a little bit here. So psychologically speaking, this has a term. It's called sunk cost fallacy. And it's, Sandra, you're not alone. This is, most of us actually have some version of this. So let me break it down for you. Basically, we all operate on some level of pain and pleasure. So you might be dialed in too much on the pain principle. So basically, exactly from your question, right? Too much money invested, too many resources, sleepless nights, already down the path. So it seems like if you give up, you would be losing, aka pain. Right? So there is a lot of pain to missing out something there. So maybe one of the elements is to dial in the pleasure more. So instead of focusing on what you'd be losing, focus on the years that you would be winning, or the elements that will grow, or the how life can be in the absence of that thing. So to give you a quick example of this, I was renovating one of our houses recently, and my father worked a lot many years ago, a lot of effort, saved money, and he put like new windows, new doors, new flooring. Now I came and changed everything. Like we destroyed them. Now it's painful, right? It's like, but why did I work? Why did I suffer, et cetera, et cetera. Now the thing is that the finished product is phenomenal. So the feelings that you get, everything inside the home changed, because now we have a bit more artistic view on how atmosphere can be. So what ended up happening is that they love every day they get to spend in this new place. And the pain of losing the ugly windows just disappeared. It's no longer inside. But yes, there was a moment when the pain was exactly when we were tearing down the walls, it felt really, really bad. But the journey ended up being beautiful in the end, and it continues to be beautiful, and most likely it will continue to be beautiful for years to come.
That is a beautiful story.
Until your kid completely rips it apart.
Yes, and the cycle repeats. I'm gonna get mad at my kid, and I'm like, do you know how many of these live calls that I had to do in order to build this house that now you're tearing down? What is this nonsense? Yeah, it's the thing will continue. Okay, great. Next question from Bertha. How can someone implement the Lifebook process if they are in a long-term relationship and their partner is not doing the process?
We get this often.
Yeah, this is okay. So it depends on how open they are to you doing it, Bertha. So if your husband is like, okay, that's cool if you want to do a personal development program, but I'm just not into it. You might say, well, would it be okay as I'm going through this program if I maybe share some of the things that I'm writing down just to check with you, like my vision for our parenting or love relationship, or see if he's open to you sharing as you go through. That would be great. And I'll tell you why that would be great, because there is no better tool for a couple than a life book, because 90% of the problems that you're going to have in your relationship will be because you're not on the same page in one or more areas of life. That's the truth, you guys. 90% problems in your marriage or in your relationship will be because you think differently about what we're going to study during this Lifebook course. If you can align those visions, you don't have anything important to fight about. I mean, you're going in the same direction.
You've thought it all down. Thought it all out.
You've thought it all down. You've agreed on where you're going, and that's, oh my God, that's so great. So if he's open to you sharing some stuff, you don't want to force him to go through, but if he's open to hearing some of your visions and maybe getting a little feedback, that would be awesome.
That's ideal.
If he's like, I'm not interested in this, I don't really want to hear about it, then the advice is do it yourself and create a shining example. This is going to change your life, and he's going to notice. There is no question about that.
Mhm.
And he's going to notice quick.
It
And
happens
then he
all the
might get
time.
curious. I'll
Yeah.
tell you, I got a personal
Happens all the
example.
time.
It happened to me 3 years ago.
Hmm.
Missy came to me and said, Jon, I want to do this meditation course from this
Okay.
master. You want to do it with me? And I'm like, no, I don't really want to do a meditation course. She's like, are you sure? She's a,
Be a good idea.
she's a real master, and this is a serious mastery course. I said, Miss, I'm really not interested. Okay, cool. So I wasn't really even interested in hearing about it, right? I was not in, that's not what I was focused on at that point in my life. And so she did the course, and I started noticing the changes in her.
Mhm.
And within about 2 months, I'm like, damn, Miss, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, well, Jon,
Well, you're
this one.
doing it next.
And I'm like, shit, okay, well, you
Yeah.
know what? I think I want to do that.
Mhm.
And Missy's example of how much that increased certain things, how just the way that you
Mhm.
blossomed during that
Yeah,
course, I'm
that's
like,
good.
I want in on
That's
that. So that's the other thing you can do
Mhm.
if he's
Mhm.
not interested.
Mhm.
Do it yourself,
Mhm.
create all kinds of amazing positive changes in your life.
Mhm.
See, just maybe you can pull them in on the.
That's a good one to say, you guys, when you are going through, if you're in a couple and you're going through separately, like the other one's not involved at all, be really super sensitive, because, and with family members too, family, friends, this happens.
Yeah.
You start growing,
Yeah.
and they see you start growing, and they can start to feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
It's a strange phenomenon, but this is how humans can be.
They can be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, and they start looking at themselves and being like, oh my God, I know, and they start feeling bad, right? So if you can be as super gentle, and like Jon said, just be a really good example, come from a just big compassion,
Yeah.
unconditional love always. And that just helps that whole situation. But hopefully, like Jon said, what will happen is they'll see the change in you, and they'll be all about it and want to make that shift too. Most people are like that. I think.
The one big piece of advice is never try to force it.
Yeah, don't
Never
do
try
that.
to force it.
That doesn't work.
One of the things that Alex said at the beginning of this program is he said, there is no one right strategy for everyone.
That's
in
right.
any area of life. You guys, literally, that's the most important discovery that we've made in our 30 years of doing this work. There is no, because we've seen tens of thousands of life visions,
Mhm.
we've seen tens of thousands of assessments, and we know with clarity that there is no one right strategy for everyone in any area of life. There is no one right diet that's going to work for everyone on this planet. There's no one right religion that's going to work for every single human being on this planet. There isn't. So never try to force this on anyone.
Mm-mm.
If they're called to it, they'll do it. And if your example is good enough, they may get interested in it.
That's good.
Okay, we have a few more minutes. Let's take a couple of fast ones from Pooja. One of my greatest obstacles has been not having clarity on what I want. Will Lifebook help me uncover what I truly want?
It will if you do the work.
Yeah.
You guys, it's not hard. It is
not
not
hard.
friggin' hard. Here's the deal. It's hard to think about what you want on a macro level. What do I want my life to be?
Yeah,
that's a hard
that's
question to answer.
overwhelming,
But
right?
what if I asked you this? What do you want for your physical body? How do you want it to look? How do you want it to feel? You can answer that question.
That's right.
If we go deep enough into your love relationship, I can basically lead you through a process where you can define your ideal love relationship.
Mhm.
You can tell us after this is the Socratic method, we're asking you questions. You will be able to tell us how much money you want to make. You will be able to define your ideal career. You can do each little exercise, and that adds up to a clear life vision. So yeah, it's super hard when you go up to ask somebody,
What do you want?
what do you want your life to be
Who
like?
are you? What are you going to be?
But we don't
Yeah.
do it that way. We dissect your life, and we ask you little questions category that add up to the big vision for your life.
Totally. I want to just piggyback on that, because I love saying this to people that have never said. We're going to take inventory. We're pulling them all apart and separating, so we can look at every single one of them, and we can ask 4 questions in every single one of these categories. And then at the end, we're going to put it all back together because it is one life. These are just dimensions. You're a multi-dimensional being. And these are the dimensions of your life. So and what happens with that process, you guys, is what we've been talking about, is once you go through that dissection and look at everything and analyze it and really decide what you want, you put it back together, it's coherence. You will have coherence. You have looked at everything, brought your consciousness to it. That's how it works.
More than anything else, this process is about helping you define what you want. That's the number one thing you get out of Lifebook is clarity on what you want. But let me tell you something, you got to take responsibility for that. No one else is going to do that for you. There's going to be no knight in shining armor riding into your life, figuring out all your shit. It's your job to do that. If you want a happy, successful, balanced, fulfilling life, no one will be able to deliver that to you but you. Right. So you go into this course knowing that you got to take responsibility for yourself. This isn't for the faint of heart. This is serious work. This is deep work. You can absolutely do it, but you can't go in with a sense that you're go ahead and help me figure out what I want. Tell me what I no, it's not like that. You need to go in crystal clear vision. You want to live, but today it's comes from me.
If someone else
can't come from anyone else.
But if someone else is doing your life, that means you're not sitting in the driver's seat. You're in the passenger seat, and you've given the keys to someone else.
Yeah.
You decided to do that.
Right.
You not doing anything. You've done something.
Yeah.
You've given it over. So this is about taking back your power in a real, true sense. It's about real sovereignty. It's about getting in the driver's seat of your own life and live the way you see living on this life for you.
And here are the stakes, you guys. If you don't control your own mind, someone else is going to control it.
That's right.
If you don't control your own life, someone else is going to control it. That's the stakes.
It's happening all
You either get in charge of yourself, in command of yourself, and the first step is figuring out what you want. That's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
You either do that, or someone else is going to come in and fill that vision gap and make you a cog in their wheel. You're going to be spending your life and your time and your energy helping someone else achieve their life vision instead of achieving yours. So that's what we're trying to do, is help you get from the passenger life to the driver.
And it's fun to drive.
It's the best. This is the best. We don't want to make this work sound like it's drudgery. This is the most exciting work you can do. See, it's so exciting to sit down and think about where I want to take my life.
And then you're like, oh, when you enlist other people, of course, but really it's like when you realize, oh my gosh, I can really do this. I'm capable. It's amazing. And yes, you all are.
Yeah, I bet it's fun to drive when you're having like a monster truck like you do, Missy. So it's a different experience. Okay, so that brings us at time. So this is our kickoff to the program. You have access to the assessment. The journey begins. Please do the assessment. Watch the journey begins if you haven't done that. And you have this entire week to complete the first two categories, health and fitness and intellectual life. And we will see each other again next week, where we will dive deeper into those two first categories.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Alex. Thank you, everybody. We're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Totally. Have a
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Okay, so as we are wrapping up, just a few more things from my end. Like Jon explained, first of all, sorry about there were some glitches with the connection. So it seems like the place they are in Tallinn, the internet connection, that's not the best. So we are at the start of the journey. Please do the things that we recommend, as in take the self-assessment so you have a baseline of your score, so you know where you are starting, because we will ask you to take the self-assessment again at the end of the process. Watch the Journey Begins video, and in your Mindvalley app, you also have an FAQ, an extensive FAQ for the Journey Begins video. So more insights around the premise, vision, purpose, and strategy, which it's the key framework of all of the categories. And let me just show you, so we are on the same page. Release. Okay. Let me quickly show you. Okay. So if you're seeing my screen, then this is the Lifebook platform on Mindvalley, Lifebook program. So here, this is a linear process. That's the key element here. So take the Lifebook assessment. What's the journey begins? Here you have an extensive FAQ on around the same topics that we covered today. Then you will be doing your category 1, health and fitness, and category 2, intellectual life. And you have another FAQ there around those 2 categories. And if the questions are not answered in those FAQs, you can always join us for the upcoming session, and we will dive deeper into that process. For now, just as a wrap up, assessment, journey begins video, start answering your PVPS for the categories. Take it one step at a time. This is a linear and simple process. It might not be the easiest process, giving deep thought to each category of our life, but it is an easy framework. So that is all from me. All there's left to say is we are grateful to have you part of our Lifebook family, and that you have decided to embark on this journey with us. So we'll be here every step of the way to give you more insights around the process. At the start of each of one of these journeys, I like to quote a Malay proverb that I have based my Lifebook on, and I have based generally my life on, which is sedikit sedikit lama lama jadi bukit. Roughly translating into little by little over time, it turns into a mountain. It's a reminder to not get overwhelmed or overthink, but simply to work on the piece that's in front of us. So I am going to be using that little catchphrase at the end of every call as a reminder of this simple truth and strategies. Small things add up to a great life over time. So stay committed, work on the piece that's in front of you. And thank you very much for all of your questions, your comments, engagement, and participation, for showing up and for playing full out. And until next time, be extraordinary, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.